Hey, yo, YouTube, what's going on? It's your boy Trey back again, hit you with a video. This video right here is similar to the video I did Saturday about the woman that went to church with a guy on Sunday and was killed by him on Friday. Now, I had a few people say, well, you should have named the title differently. I don't know what the hell they mean, but anyway, if he went to church with her on Sunday, he killed her Friday. That's exactly what it is. I mean, it is what it is. But anyway, this story is very heartbreaking and it's similar to that story. This comes out of Capitol Heights, Maryland. I heard a lot of stuff about Maryland. Most of the time it's about Baltimore or that fool Ray Lewis crying and buck dancing for boss. But anyway, you have a pregnant woman that was forced into early premature labor by her crazy ass boyfriend who decided to set her on fire. And what makes these guys click like that, the hell if I know, and it really don't matter because it's like this. If you to the point where you have to put your hand on a woman or hurt them and vice versa, if a man hurting a woman, and then you go to the extreme of setting them on fire, you just basically don't give a damn about that person and you don't value their life and you don't also have any respect for human life, period. And you need to be dealt with ASAP, whether it's on the streets or whether it's by law enforcement, because that is no it's no reason for that. It's no excuse, even if we want to try to make one. Then at the same time, she was with child. She was pregnant. So that goes to show you, it's like adding even more insult to injuries. The fact that not only is you hurting her, you hurting her the baby that she's carrying. Now, is it by her? I don't know. But I'm gonna read this little snippet from this story, and I will give my opinion as we go. It says, on Friday, a pregnant woman was critically burned after being set on fire by her boyfriend. Police received a 911 call, around 11:45 a.m. for a fire and possible arson at the Addison Chapel Apartments in the 1400 block of Elkwood Lane. When firefighters and police arrived, they found smoke coming from the second floor and the third floors of the three-story building. It says the female victim, Andrea Greenwich, was identified by her mother. Greenwich, 30, suffered burns to a larger part of her body and was transported to the burn unit at MedStar Washington Hospital Center. Some of you all from DMV area, you might know where that's at. Well, she delivered a baby girl, and congratulations on that. At least she didn't lose the child. It also says both Greenwich and her child are in critical condition, the victim's mother says. Greenwich's mother says Andrea called her to warn her about the boyfriend possibly heading to her DC home to try and warn her. And basically, her mom was trying to warn her not to mess with him and that the fact he was coming to do her harm as well. You know, not only the daughter, but also the mom too, because I guess this is some kind of psycho. I mean, you have them type of people out there. She was able to tell emergency personnel and our officers who set her on fire, and also indicated to our officers that particular individual, an adult male with whom she had a relationship with, was possibly on his way to Washington D.C. to do more harm to a relative of hers. Said Prince George's County Police spokesman Jennifer Donnellan. Neighbors said the pregnant victim was visibly burning when she banged on neighbors' door seeking help. I mean, she was on fire while she was trying to seek help. That's crazy right there. That's sad. She was very brave, said Donnelly. We want her family to know how brave she was, suffering as badly as she was, critically burned, worried about her unborn child, dealing with those injuries, and was able to share that information with us so that we could get moving with our investigation and locate this person, which they rightfully should. When they locate them, they need to, they ain't gonna do the same thing that, you know how people say, well, what you do to me, I should be able to do to you. They're not going to do that. They're not going to do the eye for an eye thing, but they need to deal with him like ASAP, because there's no excuse for that. Because that's sad that you have these type of savages out here who thinking that they can just do anything to anybody and it's all good. And then when you see the picture of the guy, it look like Akon. Like, damn, did Akon fall in love with somebody? Then, you know, he can't get over them or whatever. But the guy look like Akon mixed with a skinny Rick Ross. I mean, you put two and two together and see can you get four out of that. It says, however, the 34-year-old suspect, LaQuinn Phillips, was arrested at his home, police said. Greenwich, who was pregnant, who, when she was set on fire, gave birth to a baby girl 7 weeks early. They both remain in critical condition. Andrea's father, Arthur Greenwich, said that Phillips set his daughter on fire because he was angry she was pregnant. Damn, you that angry? She was pregnant, but why didn't y'all use contraceptives? Why didn't y'all use birth control, condoms, things like that? I mean, what happened to your pull-out method? I guess your pull-out game ain't strong. But anyway, even if it ain't strong, and even if it was strong, the point is you made a child. You have to man up and take responsibilities of that. You know, now did he think the child wasn't his? It still don't give you no right to set no damn body on fire and to kill him. Because I'm sure there's a lot of guys around here in this country, especially and all over this world, but more so in America, because it's like child support is a big hustle in America anyway. Not saying that this female would have put him on child support or whatever, but it's to the point where like you have these situations with people, and it feels like they want to take out the woman so they ain't have to be liable for anything. They don't have to pay child support. But at the same time, who's to say what's going through these guys' mind? But don't know one, regardless of child support or whatever the hell else, deserve to be set on fire in their unborn child also. Whether you love the child or not, you know, if you don't want to have anything to do with the child, stay away from the child. Don't go set the damn woman on fire. You know, that's crazy. That goes to show you this guy has very serious mental issues, and he need a foot in his ass, and he needs some help. That's just the truth. You can get mad at me if you want to, but if you get mad at me for saying this, how you feel about him setting her on fire? But anyway, it all stems from him not wanting to take responsibility of him being a newborn dad. Just like I just said Arthur Greenwich. The dad said that the dad name is Arthur, the girl that got set on fire. And I know Pops want to get his hands on to him, like choke the shit out of him. He didn't want that. And once a baby is conceived, it's too late for all that. You either step up and be a dad or you walk away, which he could have just chose to walk away. He could have did the Dame Dash thing. Even I'm not saying Dame Dash set nobody on fire. I'm not saying that. But how Dame left New York and went out to California, you got to do some investigation of your own. But at the same time, if you want to be around a child, you want to have nothing to do with the child, leave the child and the mother alone. Don't never speak to him again. You know, you don't have to go kill him. What kind of sense that makes right there? That don't make no sense to me. It says Phillips has been charged with attempted first and second degree murder, arson, assault, and several additional charges which are related to the incident. He won't come home to 2100. He is currently waiting extradition to Prince George's County from D.C. Detectives say the motive for the arson is still under investigation. It says prayers for both Andrea and her baby that they make a full recovery. But this is just somewhat similar of the story, like I said, I did the other day about the woman who was 35 years old and the guy was 10 years her senior, which means he was 45 years old. She meets this guy who has a troubled past of beating women, hitting on women. Then she, I guess, figured that in some twisted way in her mind, because she made it in psychology and also gerontology. But I guess she figured that she could change this person, just like a lot of females think, and some of them just be naive and ignorant and not realizing the type of demon and the type of man that they're dealing with. You know, a lot of people ain't who they appear to be. Like I say, people wear masks. You have to be aware. Just because somebody smile in your face don't mean they won't stab you in the back a week or two later, or maybe a year or two later, some 10 years later. You know, because if a person ain't with you, it don't matter what you do or what you say or how good you make love, how good you go out there and make money and you handle business. If they don't have no love for you, it don't matter what you do. You need to let them go before they let you go, or you be somewhere laid up on that cold slab in the morgue with a big old hole through your chest, like I said. But what kind of man would do that to a woman? What kind of man would drive somewhere, which means you have time to think? It's not like in the heat of the moment type situation where if somebody busts in your door and you have a gun, you just shoot them. You know, it's not like just like an instant thing like something just happened out of the clear blue. He had time to think about what he was doing, which means he could have turned that car around anytime and said, well, you know what? I'm just going to swallow him. I'm just going to charge it to the game or whatever, however he want to say it, and leave her alone and go on with my life and let her live her life. So what made him, I know what it is, but what made him drive way to where she was just to hurt her, then want to go hurt her other family members also? Because true enough, if he was going to do that to the daughter, he would have had the mom next and he would have had the dad also, because guess what? He would have had to get rid of them, because it's not like a mom or a dad is going to let you set their child on fire or kill their child and they're not going to come after you or put the police after you. So maybe that's why he was on his way to the other her relative's house to finish up whatever it is he was trying to do. But I want to know what you all think about this situation right here, because we hear more and more stories about these domestic disputes that turn out very bad, turn out very deadly, and either people are getting set on fire or they're getting beat to death or they're getting shot in the head while they're asleep. You know, and It just don't make no sense. If you don't want to be with somebody, do not be with that person. Don't sit up in here and take somebody's life because you didn't give them that life. And even if the parents want to take their lives, it's not the parents' job to take their children life. Like we used to hear Bill Cosby say in the '80s, when he used to talk to what's his name, Theo, Malcolm Jamal Warner. He'd say, "I brought you in this world, I take you out." God brought you in this world. You just a vessel that allowed that transition to happen. But parents, you don't even have a right to kill your children. If you want to be rid of them, let them go. Let them go to foster homes, group homes, or be up for adoption. Let somebody love them. But it's not your right to take someone else's life because you did not give them that. So, you know, as the story develops, I will share more with you. But it's very sad that you have a very beautiful woman like her, very pretty, and she's going to be scarred and messed up for life, her and the baby. The baby didn't do anything wrong other than the fact that this woman chose to lay down with this crazy ass man, and this baby got to wear these scars now, which the mom do also, but the baby was totally innocent. And the female was totally innocent also, but the only part she was guilty at when she laid down with this beast. And you can say it however you want to say it, but at the same time, if she would have never laid down with this man, this would have never happened. And this is why you have to choose your mates and choose the people you choose to be with carefully. If not, you're going to regret it one day. And trust me, she's lucky she's alive, because if it wasn't for her neighbors and somebody helping her right then, she would have just died right there. And it's amazing that she didn't die after sustaining all those injuries. So let me know what you all think also. And if you want to share any stories, because the reason why I say share a story, because you have a lot of people, both male and female, but of course more women who went through these type of situations. And I just feel that it's a way for people to vent and talk about things, because I learned one thing: if you're able to talk about something, it'll help you heal and help you get over what it is that you went through. So that's why I ask people to come in and say certain things if they don't went through things. Don't make up no lies now, but that's on you if you're lying. But at the same time, I do that for a reason, to help those who've been hurt try to heal. Anyway, you like, subscribe. Till next time, stay blessed. Choose your mate wisely. I'm out.